High in the sky, a mountain stands alone, towering above the clouds. It is a place of extremes. The air is thin, making every breath a challenge. Temperatures plummet to bone-chilling lows. This is Mount Everest, Earth's highest point, a peak that has captured the imagination of adventurers for generations. For centuries, people have been drawn to its slopes, enchanted by its majestic presence. They come to test their limits, to push beyond what they thought possible. They come to experience its raw beauty, to witness the world from its highest vantage point. But Everest is a dangerous mistress, unforgiving and relentless. Many have tried to conquer its summit. Many have failed, succumbing to its harsh conditions. This is the story of their journeys, of triumphs and tragedies, of dreams realized and dreams shattered. What is it about Everest that calls to us? Is it the challenge, the ultimate test of endurance and willpower? Is it the desire to stand where few have stood before, to be part of a select group of individuals who have reached the top of the world? Whatever the reason, Everest continues to fascinate and inspire, drawing people from all corners of the globe. It is a reminder of the power of nature, of the forces that shape our world. And it is a testament to the human spirit, to our unyielding desire to explore, to conquer, and to achieve the impossible. Mount Everest sits on the border of two countries, Nepal and China. It is part of the Himalayas, the highest mountain range in the world. The Himalayas stretch for over 1,500 miles. They were formed millions of years ago. This happened when the Indian subcontinent collided with Asia. Everest's summit reaches an astonishing height of 8,848.86 meters. That's almost 5.5 miles above sea level. It's so high that the air pressure at the top is only about 1/3 of what it is at sea level. This makes it difficult to breathe. It's one of the many challenges faced by climbers. Mount Everest is a young mountain, geologically speaking. It is still growing today. The story of its formation begins millions of years ago. At that time, the Indian subcontinent was a separate landmass. It was slowly drifting north. Eventually, it collided with Asia. This collision was incredibly powerful. It forced the land to buckle and fold. Over millions of years, the Himalayas rose from the seabed. Everest is made up of layers of rock that were folded and thrust upward. These layers include limestone, marble, shale, and granite. The summit itself is made of limestone. It was once part of the ocean floor. While Everest reigns supreme as the highest point on Earth, it is not alone in its grandeur. Other peaks around the world reach astonishing heights. They offer their own unique challenges to climbers. In the Himalayas alone, there are 10 other mountains over 8,000 meters high. K2, located on the border of Pakistan and China, is the second highest mountain in the world. It is considered a more technically challenging climb than Everest. Kangchenjunga, on the border of Nepal and India, is the third highest. It is revered by the local people as a sacred mountain. Beyond the Himalayas, mountains like Aconcagua in South America and Denali in North America also draw adventurers seeking high-altitude thrills. Section 5. The Death Zone and Beyond. Challenges at altitude. Climbing Mount Everest is a grueling test of human endurance. It is not just a physical challenge, but a mental one as well. The higher you go, the thinner the air becomes, making every step a monumental effort. This means there is less oxygen available to breathe, which can severely impact performance and decision-making. Above 8,000 meters, you enter what is known as the death zone, a place where survival becomes a race against time. In the death zone, the body begins to shut down, unable to cope with the extreme conditions. Climbers experience extreme fatigue, headaches, and nausea, symptoms that can quickly escalate. They may also suffer from high-altitude pulmonary edema, HAPE, or high-altitude cerebral edema, HACE. These are life-threatening conditions that require immediate attention. Without supplemental oxygen, survival in the death zone is measured in hours, not days. The margin for error is incredibly slim. Climbers must acclimatize slowly to the altitude, a process that demands patience and careful planning. They spend weeks ascending and descending to different camps, allowing their bodies to gradually adjust to the thin air. This helps their bodies adjust to the thin air, increasing their chances of reaching the summit and returning safely. Section 6. Against the odds. The perils of Everest's weather. The weather on Mount Everest is notoriously unpredictable and extreme. Temperatures can plummet to minus 60 degrees Celsius. Winds can reach hurricane force. Blizzards can strike with little warning. These conditions can make climbing impossible. The jet stream, a band of strong winds high in the atmosphere, often passes over Everest. This creates extreme wind chills. It can also bring sudden changes in weather. Climbers must be prepared for the worst. They carry specialized clothing and equipment. They must be prepared to wait out storms in their tents for days. Section 7. Mind over matter, the mental fortitude of an Everest climber. Climbing Mount Everest is as much a mental challenge as a physical one. Climbers must be mentally strong. They face fear, exhaustion, and isolation. They must be able to push themselves beyond their limits. They must also be able to work as a team. This is essential for survival. Many Everest climbers use visualization techniques. They imagine themselves successfully reaching the summit. They also rely on their teammates for support. They share stories, jokes, and words of encouragement. The mental toughness required to climb Everest is often underestimated. It is one of the most important qualities a climber can possess. Section 8. Triumph and Tragedy. Stories from the top of the world. In this chapter, we delve into the incredible tales of human endurance and the relentless pursuit of glory. Mount Everest has seen its share of both triumph and tragedy. It stands as a symbol of human ambition and the ultimate test of resilience. Sir Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay made history in 1953. Their successful ascent was a monumental achievement, marking a new era in mountaineering. They were the first to successfully reach the summit, a feat that was celebrated worldwide and inspired countless others to follow in their footsteps. Since then, thousands have followed in their footsteps. Each climber brings their own story of determination, struggle, and sometimes heartbreak. However, Everest has also claimed the lives of many climbers. The mountain's harsh conditions and unpredictable weather make it a perilous journey. Some have succumbed to altitude sickness or exposure. The thin air and extreme cold can be unforgiving, even to the most experienced climbers. Others have been caught in avalanches or have fallen to their deaths. The mountain's treacherous terrain and sudden shifts in weather can turn a hopeful ascent into a deadly descent. The 1996 Everest disaster, chronicled in John Krakauer's book Into Thin Air, is a stark reminder of the mountain's unforgiving nature. The tragedy highlighted the risks and the thin line between success and failure. It resulted in the deaths of 8 climbers during a single storm. The event shook the mountaineering community and brought global attention to the dangers of high-altitude climbing. Despite the risks, the allure of Everest remains strong. The mountain continues to captivate the imagination of adventurers and thrill-seekers from around the world. Climbers continue to be drawn to its challenge and its beauty. The journey to the summit is not just a physical test, but a profound personal quest. They are driven by a thirst for adventure, a desire to test their limits, and a deep respect for the mountain itself. Each ascent is a testament to human spirit and the enduring allure of the world's highest peak. Section 9. The Price of Glory. The environmental impact of Everest expeditions. The popularity of Mount Everest has come at a cost. The increasing number of expeditions has taken a toll on the environment. Climbers generate a lot of waste. This includes oxygen canisters, tents, and human waste. This waste often ends up polluting the mountain. Efforts are being made to address this issue. The Nepalese government has implemented stricter regulations. They require climbers to bring down all of their waste. Organizations like the Everest Summiteers Association are working to clean up the mountain. They organize expeditions to remove trash. They also educate climbers about responsible practices. Section 10. Everest in a Changing World. The impact of climate change. Climate change is having a visible impact on Mount Everest. Glaciers are melting at an alarming rate. This is creating dangerous glacial lakes. These lakes can burst their banks. This can cause catastrophic floods. The melting ice is also exposing more rock. This is making the climb more difficult. Climate change is also affecting the weather on Everest. Storms are becoming more frequent and intense. This is making the climb even more dangerous. Scientists are studying these changes closely. They want to understand the long-term impact of climate change on Everest. Section 11. Conclusion. The enduring legacy of Everest. Mount Everest stands as a symbol of human ambition, resilience, and the awesome power of nature. It is a place of extremes. It tests the limits of human endurance, yet it continues to draw people from all over the world. They come to experience its beauty, to challenge themselves, and to stand on top of the world. As we have seen, Everest is not just a mountain, it is a living, breathing entity. It is shaped by geological forces and affected by climate change. It is a reminder of our connection to the natural world, and it is a reminder of the importance of respecting and protecting this planet we call home.